Before we get started with this, and I'll probably repeat it a couple times during today because it's so important, I'm going to be talking about limited partnerships, corporations. Please, please, please see a tax specialist, see a tax expert. You want to see a CPA, talk to people that set up corporations. Because what corporation you set up could be different. There's new tax laws out there where an S chapter might be better than a C chapter because of the tax, but if you make more money, a C chapter might be better. A C Corp rather than an S Corp. So make sure you see an expert in the field and don't rely. Again, I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what we do, but hopefully it will, again, just like last week, kind of give you a roadmap to at least start, because you go talk to someone, no one will talk to you about this. But I want to give you at least a roadmap to get started, but make sure you get professional advice before you do anything. First off, the number one thing, if you're in a business, you need to track that business. Every year we sell 100 plus homes. I want to know, how many homes did we close? What was the average price? What was the average commission? Because remember, there's a couple different ways of increasing your business. Sell more homes, sell a higher, service more clients, or maybe service more clients at a higher price point. The buyer-seller ratio. And the other thing with the average commission is you want to know how much you're making on every transaction, and I'll show you why in a sec. Buyer-seller ratio. I want to know, is it 50-50, 70% listings, 30% buyers? You hear a lot of times that listings are the name of the game. I can't disagree with that. But you know, if you're selling 90% listings, I'm telling you right now, you need to get a buyer's agent, an assistant that can, a team member that can help you with the buyers. Because there's a lot, if you're selling 90% of your listings and only 10% of your buyers, there's a lot of business falling through the cracks. Because remember, every sale, every listing should result in 3 sales. So another listing and a buyer. That right there puts it at 33% buyers. So usually I think a good ratio is somewhere between 60-70% listings and 30-40% buyers. If you're a new agent, it might be a lot higher percentage of buyers, because that's how you basically grow the business, picking people up from open houses. Source of the business. We want to know every transaction, where did it come from? Was it a referral? Was it from our sphere of influence? Was it from an open house? Because that tells us where we're going to spend our money. What worked and what didn't work. If we spent $20,000 or something and we only made $20,000 back, unless it's a growing enterprise or something, that's not going to work for us. If we spend $20,000, we want to make $60,000 to $100,000 back. And the budget for the current year based on those results. So if you have a certain amount of money to spend, you're going to budget based on where your sources of business comes from. That's what your budget is all about. So I can remember early in my career going to see Brian Buffini, who has a great by referral program. And I was also geographical farming, and I said, I need to spend more time. And I went back to my office, it was like early January, and said, you know what, I'm going to quit farming. I'm going to put all my money into my sphere of influence. But luckily, I tracked my numbers. So when I ran the numbers the following week, I saw I had spent about $40,000 on my farm, my geographical farm, but I made $250,000. So I still basically followed Brian's advice and put more time and effort in my sphere of influence. But I thought, you know, geographical farm is a pretty good ROI. I think I'll keep that. So, but you know that because you track your numbers. And so one of the reasons that you want to track that number, because you want to figure out how come what income do you make off each closed transaction? Because if you set your goal to sell 24 homes or 48 homes or however many homes that you set to sell on your goal, you are doing it starting with how much income, how many clients do I have to service to generate the income after, remember, going through that goal setting exercise. So that's why you do the previous slide of tracking all your numbers. So when you set your goals, you know exactly, because based on how many escrows per year, tells you how many people you need in your geographical farm, how many open houses you need to do, how many people you need in your sphere of influence. We did that a couple months ago. Remember, we tracked it by number.